Start recording. So I didn't leave my descriptions in here. I just wanted to keep it simple. But sometimes if you make your drawings first before you fix your components, your table is really big like this, right? So just click on it, grab the arrow on top and kind of drag it down and drag it back up, and then move this over a little bit and boom, it'll collapse back down. Either that or just, when you pick it, you have to pick on the line. Just make a new table, drop it in, and then add that description column back in. And then that way it'll scale back down, right? So what are these little balloon here things?
Those are I think those are the items.
Yeah, so it's this item number and it's telling you where that thing is in the assembly. And so we want to be able to see kind of an isometric to see what's going on with the part, right? And then over here, we also need the multi-view so we can see overall height, width, steps. So we need probably at least 2 views there. Maybe not that one, maybe, maybe this view one. I can stick these over here. But right now, this is really small, stuck up there. I could also move these up here and drag my parts list down into here, right? I can stick it down there. Now I have more space for this. I can also split these up. Do one page of just these, and another page of the isometric. Both pages would need to have the parts list though. So I could add a new page, drag it over there, do a new base view, tell it that I want only the isometric. Now I can make the scale bigger. Put in my table, right? So now I've got a lot more space to work with. So what was one of the problems you guys found when you were working on this with identifying your parts? So you have turned in your drawings. Yeah, so it's hard to see some of these parts, right? Yeah, so you can't see these parts back here. You can't see what's going on over there. You can't see this bottom screw at all, right? What are some ways to fix that? Yeah, we've got these other views here. And so we could, instead of doing this view here, we could do a section there. Come on. Now we can see this screw, but we still can't see those backside screws, right? And we're not seeing it on the isometric. We could do maybe I do another isometric, and now I do southeast one, and I do it there. So now I can see that screw. So I could do that. Look at it from the other side. What's another way that you've seen? I'm sure you've always seen where I'm going. So when you buy stuff that you have to put together, how does it show it to you? It shows you all spread out, right?
Yeah.
And so wouldn't that be nice to be able to do that here?
Definitely.
Probably. So if we go back into our file here, and right now we're in our design workspace, but remember we have all those other workspaces that we can get to. So there's generative design, rendering, animation, simulation, manufacture, drawing. So if we go to the animation one, look at that picture. Does that kind of look like an exploded view there?
Yeah.
So I go there, I'm going to open up the design workspace, or the animation workspace. And so I have my components. I have a timeline down here on the bottom that they call a storyboard. And so this is where I can make my animation. Next week, we'll get into playing with it a little bit more. And you might even just want to start playing with it a little bit here. But for right now, I just want to make kind of a finished view of this is what it looks like when it's all pulled apart. A couple ways we can do it. One is I can click on transform, and I get auto explode all levels. So one level just means that it'll take this and whatever the top level component is, it'll spread those apart. So since this one we only have top level components, okay, but like if we had a component within components, that would keep those groups together. It wouldn't break apart components into subcomponents. That's what all levels would do. But so I just always do all anyway. So click on that, all levels, and let's see what happens. You can use this little slider to adjust how far things are moving. But I mean, it's kind of okay, but this stuff in the middle isn't so great. So we can accept it and then move some other stuff around if we want to. But I'm just going to hit it. I'm going to cancel this and just do it myself. So right here on the bottom, this timeline this is where kind of what things are going to happen. So whatever I move is going to happen between 0 and where the cursor is here on the bottom. If I say move, and I grab that nut, or that screw, the side, and that screw, and I drag them out like this, I hit OK, you can see now it creates those 3 items down in the storyboard with a move action happening between there and there. Now I can hit again, move, hold control, grab that screw too, pull those out a little bit more. Now those are all moving in that same time. I guess to show you the animation side. If I want those screws to move after that, I can move it here and then go to move, screw, pull them out a little bit. Now when I play it, that comes out and then the screws come out after it. So that's how the animation works. Ta-da. That's the entire animation lecture. So you can do that if you want to, or you can just do everything at one time for this.
Professor,
Yes.
can you share your screen?
Oh, sorry. And I didn't show you guys in here either.
No. That's why we're all looking up there.
All right, there we go. So you can see the timeline down here, and as I drag it, it can move. I'm just going to keep it all at one time, just to make it easy on myself right now. But that's something you can also play around with next week. I'm going to pull that out there. I'm going to go to move and grab the other side panel and the 2 screws that are over there. Pull those, hold control and pick those, move those out a little bit. Hold control and grab those. We can kind of see the direction that things are all coming together. We've got this thing in the way though, right here. Kind of a big thing, and kind of thinking about how our paper is going to be put. Kind of obvious that it's going to go there, so I'm just going to grab this and that, pull those kind of over to the side over here. I want to pull that down. Grab those 3, pull them up a little bit. Move that over a little bit. Now I can clearly see all of the things, right? So I'm going to go ahead and save this here. And so if I move this, you can kind of see everything goes in and out there. What?
You only move.
Yeah, so if you want it to be able to move 2 different, I mean, you could pick them, and if I at the same point in time, if I made it over here, now it's going to do that. But you can also make multiple stops. You can make it go from this time period to this time period, move here, move up, and then move over. Like that. So if I made, like on this one, on this, I can make those, this time period move down. Then over here, make them move again that way. Now it's going to move over and then up. You can also, in that move, you can have things rotate, and things like that. So you can have things move and rotate at the same time. So to watch the nut screw on if you wanted to. Like I could grab this one here, and at that time period, I can just give it a couple spins. Only can just do one, but now it's going to kind of turn as it goes. So yeah, you can do all of that. It doesn't. The mates don't work here, or the joints don't work, so you can't just tell it to rotate a joint. That doesn't work. This is more kind of a coming in and out. For the animation part, you can also move your camera. So if you move your view, should be, oh, there. If I hit record on the view, if I start there, and then I go over here and I tell it to be over here. Now, as it explodes, it rotates. So you just have to turn on the recording for the view. You hit pause so it doesn't record where you're moving it, so that way you can kind of move stuff around while you're working. But then you can hit it there. And like this is over here because I had the cursor here in this little red spot when I moved it, so that moved it there for the kind of the home position for where it starts. So like you could be here, move stuff all around, and then at the end, tell it to restore home, and it would pull everything back together. So then your animation could be coming together. You can also, in your publishing video, I think you can, other program. Some other programs you can make it record it backwards. So
Each marking a section.
this, yeah, these are time periods. So this is 1 second. So if I was going to play this, that's the animation. So the spacebar plays the animation. So, but the main point is I want to get to this view here of everything pulled apart. And so now I save it. Where my drawing, and I make sure I hit my refresh, but redoes everything. And so now if I pick on this view, just delete that view, make a new base view, another representation. I'm going to pick Storyboard 2. Now it's pulling that view from that animation.
Oh.
You can stick that in there, and then I can tell it to do balloons, and I could pick on my pieces and add balloons. Or if I add a table, will it do it automatically? There we go. So then that's a little bit easier than re-adding all the balloons. I just re-add the table. They all get there. Now I can go in and drag them around so they're nice. So just like before, we don't want to have leaders going straight across. We want them to be at some kind of angle. And in this case, we really don't want the balloons to be crossing each other. But if you grab it and you just move it to a different point on the part, that's fine. Yeah.
Unlike in the drawing where we had side notes, corners,
Yeah.
chamfers, why don't we have assembly?
Oh, because the part's already made,
Oh.
right?
Okay.
We've already made the part. We've already broken sharp corners and all that stuff. That's already been done. Yeah. So we don't need to say that here because that's part of making the parts. Assembly is just putting together.
Gotcha.
So we don't need that.
So that's so you don't.
So we would, so this drawing now, we could just get rid of that and just have only parts list and these views or whatever we want here. We can make them bigger. Got that section name, whatever. Make them bigger here so we can see what's going on and have a different page with the exploded view. But yes, it does need to have its parts list too so we can see what's what on it. Okay, does that make sense? Yeah, you don't want them to overlap too much, and not. You don't want to do that.
Oh,
Don't
yeah,
let the balloons cross each other.
Yeah.
But you can be creative with where you stick them, and like this could go here, and you don't need to make it go each like every little thing. If they're the same, you don't have to put an arrow on each one. Some programs will let you add multiple leaders to the same balloon, so I could say 5, go this one and that one. Fusion doesn't let us do that. I don't know, maybe. Try it. Let's try it. Go here, put a balloon, boom.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. 2 different ones, but it looks the same. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that works.
Okay. Helps.
And they do snap right to the middle of each other, so that would be acceptable. So I can stick this there, stick that in there, this here, drag that over here. Remember, if you're not sure if it'll let you do something, try it. The worst that can happen is it doesn't work, right?
Right.
But if it works, now you learn something. And that's how I've learned all of this. This whole program has been like that. Like, I've done it this way in another program, or I think this should work. Doesn't work. Let me try it. Yes, it works. Great. No, it doesn't work. All right, now I know I need to figure out another way. So that's actually like the key of what you should be learning in this whole program is how to figure out what works and what doesn't work. Because you might go, even though here you learn Fusion, you learn SolidWorks, you go somewhere and they use some other program. That's a little bit different, but mostly the same. Or even if it doesn't have the same kind of things, they'll know, okay, this is what I want to do. Let me figure out how to make it work. Okay. So any questions on this? So if you've already turned in your drawings without this, and you just want to leave them like they are, fine. You don't have to have an exploded views on everything. But if you want to do that, this is how you can do it. And you just resubmit it to the page. Okay.